Oh my God! Hurry that goes to the flaming table! Oh my God!
Maybe it's not the granddaddy of them all, but what it is one big mother of a pro wrestling event. Actually, it's the pro wrestling card by which all other cards will be judged by for the rest of 2002. It's Hardcore Hell 2K2. Available on Wildside Home Video. Stephen Prazak along with Dan the Dragon Wilson welcoming you to NWA Wildside. Hardcore Hell, what a storied history.
6 years ago in Silva, North Carolina, a torch was lit in a card that included Matt Hardy against Venom for the NCW Heavyweight Championship. It included Rick Michaels, David Young, Jeff Hardy, Shannon Moore, so many stars. It is now 2002, and many of those stars have returned, many of them have gone elsewhere, but Hardcore Hell is the premier event in Wildside, and as we take this, that historic event is occurring in the NCW arena. You need to own the Hardcore Hell home video. But last week on NWA Wildside, you saw an 8-man Ultimate Survival Elimination Tag Team match. Rick Michaels was the sole survivor over Tank. In that matchup, David Young attacked and laid Rick Michaels out with an ass whipping I don't think he's ever seen the like of. That was last week, Steven. What do we got on the card this week?
The story continues this week. Your main event, Rick Michaels and David Young, finally, we think, fights for that #1 contendership. Who is it gonna be? And that's just part of the story. Dustin Timberlake faces his former longtime admiring target. That would be all that Adam Jacobs. Can we pack all this in 1 hour? We're gonna try.
Brawled in a program with David Young.
Rick Michaels, last week on NWA Wildside, the final image the fans saw was a collision course in the ring between you and the co-#1 contender, David Young. First off, Dan, last week, what I did to you was totally unprofessional. The way I had you over there in the corner was not something I should have done. So before I start this, Dan, I apologize to you.
What? Is this the wrong show? Rick Michaels apologizing to Dan the Dragon Wilson. I'll alert the media.
Understand, this thing with Hardcore Hell, the #1 contendership, the Wildside title, it's got me so screwed up. I can't sleep at night. I can't think, I can't eat, I can't do anything. That's all I think about is that #1 contendership and the heavyweight title, Hardcore Hell. But not only do I need to apologize to you, I need to apologize to David Young.
What?
David Young, I realize if it wasn't for you, I couldn't have been a 4-time World Tag Team Champion. And David, I want to apologize to you for what I've done to you. But David, I want to do it to your face. I want to do it out here. So David Young, will you please come out here?
Is Rick Michaels going through a guilt trip?
Rodeo, I see you getting antsy over there. There's not going to be any security. No pull-aparts here. David Young, I've got you out here for one reason. One reason only. Is I want to apologize to you.
Careful, Dave.
All this stuff going on with the hardcore hell, the heavyweight title, it's got me so screwed up right now I can't think straight.
Well, that's
David
true.
Young, you were, and I still consider you my best friend.
Please.
Now later this week, you and I are wrestling to see who wrestles AJ at Hardcore Hell.
Main event tonight.
Well, I just want to say this. If I beat you, I want you to shake my hand. If you beat me, David Young, I'll shake your hand, and I'll have a front row seat to watch you wrestle AJ at Hardcore Hell. I'm sorry.
What? Careful, David.
No, you people don't understand. David Young, tonight, me and you, one-on-one. Good luck, brother.
These guys have a long, storied history. They were best friends much longer than they were hated enemies. But you can certainly understand David Young. Handshake and a hug. Careful, David. So, I mean, so far, Rick Michaels appears to be on the up and up here. Remember now, these two athletes will be fighting this evening, your main event this evening, here in Wildside. And damn, it's on the up and up. It's got, who would have guessed it? Who would have thunk it? Tongue firmly in cheek here. So much best friends. These two athletes, Rick Michaels, David Young, mixing it up. Michaels taking David Young. Oh, now Michaels just KOing Young. Michaels was probably hoping that with Young being all beaten up here, that the main event this week on the Wildside will be a cakewalk for the original Chosen One. That's what, in fact, what Rick Michaels actually shoot away most of the security here for taking because there's no knee. Oh, good Lord! He just clocked him with a wrench. He took a wrench underneath the ring. Kevin Hart trying to break things up here between David Young and Rick Michaels. Michaels is damn near frothing at the mouth with hatred for his so-called best friend. Please give me a break. Now I have to. This is absurd, Dan. Absurd.
Rick Michaels has lost his damn mind.
Hasn't been sleeping, hasn't been eating, huh? I guess Rick Michaels actually has a bit of a point, all right? I mean, the locker room is clearing out, trying to break up these two, or more importantly here, to get Rick Michaels off the falling body of David Young. Now, finally, security breaking things up here. This is absurd. Rick Michaels wanted to tip the odds in his favor for the main event tonight on Wildside, and perhaps he may have done that. He took that wrench that is used to assemble the ring here and just clocked Young right in the midsection with it. What kind of shape Young is in right now is anyone's guess, but not good. Security and some of the wrestlers from backstage taking Rick Michaels out of the building.
That was absolutely disgusting.
Since 1997, there has not been a tradition of violence in professional wrestling like hardcore hell. This year in 2002, NWA Wildside resumes that tradition with a Hardcore Hell 2002. An event so big, it has to take place over 2 days. Friday, March 22nd, from 7 to 8 p.m., it's the Fan Fest. And at 8 o'clock p.m., Hardcore Hell begins. Saturday, March 23rd, Hardcore Hell continues with your main event, AJ Styles defending the Wildside heavyweight title against the #1 contender. Hardcore Hell has launched the careers of such stars as Matt Hardy, Jeff Hardy, Bo Buchanan, Shannon Moore, AJ Styles, and more. Find out what's gonna happen this year at Hardcore Hell, March 22nd, 23rd at the NCW Arena in Cornelia, Georgia. Call 770-621-9533 for info. Be there.
ticking time bomb, Scottie Wrenn.
Terry Knight jumps Scottie Wrenn as he's coming down the ring ropes, coming down the ramp, I should have to point out here. Hopefully he's silencing the ticking time bomb before any damage can be done. Good Lord! Elevated backdrop. Young was good 12 feet up.
Scottie Wrenn, overhead belly-to-belly suplex on Terry Knight. Scottie Wrenn has the challenge of Smart Bart Sawyer at Hardcore Hell.
I guess Smart Bart's a little smarter than he realized. I didn't believe I saw him backstage.
He's at home biding his time.
He's probably biting his nails.
Scottie Wrenn and Bart Sawyer is a collision course for Hardcore Hell as well. Big gorilla press by Scottie Wrenn. Terry Knight counters with a reversal to the behind. Novocaine, or excuse me, a spin doctor there by Terry Knight. 2 count only.
Terry Knight's going to find out firsthand how difficult it is to pin the ticking time bomb, Scottie Wrenn. Damn few people have ever pulled that one off.
The ticking time bomb, Scottie Wrenn, is a machine. He's fallen off the top of the cage through 2 tables, and he got right back up.
He's been in an auto accident that would kill most normal human beings, and he came back.
He suffered damn near a dozen chair shots to the head, unprotected, by Jesse Taylor in last year's Hardcore Hell. That alone would have ended most careers, but the ticking time bomb, Scottie Wrenn, just keeps on coming. He can seemingly not be destroyed, and Smart Bart Sawyer does not know what he's gotten himself into.
Neither does Terry Knight, but Knight is definitely a confident individual. You see that week in and week out here at Wildside. A flying Terry Knight, and Scottie Wrenn crumples into a heap in the middle of that ring.
Terry Knight back in control on the ticking time bomb.
Let's see the return of Jamie Tucker here to Wildside. Started off here not too long ago before joining the World Championship canceled wrestling.
Great to see Jamie Tucker back here in NWA Wildside. And finally, oh, there's a second Scottie Slam!
Scottie Wrenn not in a position to capitalize, just one arm on top, that's all it takes. The ticking time bomb. Wait a second, I thought Smart Bart Sawyer was not here. So much for my thoughts. Damn.
It's Smart Bart Sawyer, he's all God, and the Iceberg.
As well as Big Business Brown, odds are stacked against the ticking time bomb. Like Bart Sawyer isn't big enough, a handful for Scottie Wrenn. He's got Terry Knight and the quarter-ton plus of Iceberg. Oh, God, this is ugly. Oh.
DDT, Scottie Wrenn on that chair. Smart Bart Sawyer has come to attack the ticking time bomb, Scottie Wrenn. And when Wrenn gets this guy one-on-one in the ring, he's going to turn up Big Henry Hall.
And Tank! Boy, that would make a full-grown army run for their lives as well. Hoss and Tank in the clear house before Iceberg did his damage on the ticking time bomb. Scottie Wrenn, Big Henry Hoss with a bull rope tied into that cowbell. Bart Sawyer, Big Business Brown having a few words with referee Jamie Tucker. Scottie Wrenn ought to thank his lucky stars. Tank and Henry Hoss were not too far behind. This could have been a massacre of immense proportions. Terry Knight.
Bart Sawyer, good God.
He's only been back for a few weeks and I'm already sick of him.
Well, you see Tank, Big Henry Hoss in the ring. Tank got the challenge of the Iceberg at Hardcore Hell, and I'm sure we're going to be hearing more about that. Big Henry Hoss going to meet Terry Knight one-on-one. Scottie Wrenn going to meet Bart Sawyer. Hardcore Hell is shaping up to be the biggest show in Wildside history. 2 days of insanity.
To hopefully settle this #1 contendership thing. Seems to be going on forever.
And Derek Driver, as you see a new face here, you probably don't recognize him from Wildside television. That's because he's never been there. he's a last-minute substitute for Kid Cool, who after several visits to the doctor, suffering from post-concussion syndrome after the Zoolander by homicide of blackout. We don't know if Kid Cool will ever return at only 16 years of old. That post-concussion syndrome is too serious an issue to deal with. In the ring, the action starting hot and heavy. Sal Del Rio sends Brandon P outside the ring. Jay Freeze off the ropes, kick to the midsection by D and Derek Driver. Sal Del Rio standing on the top.
What the hell is that? I know what that is. Good old rocker dropper off the back.
That's the Chalupa Crunch by Sal Del Rio.
That was my next guess. Chalupa Crunch. The kids today, I tell you, the imagination of the league's be totally befuddled. However, their sense of dress needs some work. Sal Del Rio, Jeremy V, and Derek Driver. Involved six-man action this week against the team of Future Shock and the real Slim J. Slim J trying to destroy a bit of the momentum here. I think that's pretty smart. Slim J is certainly wise beyond his years. All 12 of them.
Slim J going to start it off with young Jeremy V. Slim J, one of the hottest rookie sensations of 2001. Jeremy V, one of the hottest rookie sensations of 2002. Slim J has an experience advantage big time over Jeremy V, but Jeremy V's got a lot of heart, and he's coming into this thing with all guns blazing. A pair of arm drags, a regular Japanese, that big drop kick by Jeremy V on fire this week on NWA Wildside.
Hard to believe Slim J is actually the veteran of the two.
Another arm drag by Jeremy V. He hangs on into an arm bar on Brandon P. Future Shock showing a lot of potential in their feud here with G-Rated. And I know that no offense to Derek Driver, but he's no Kid Cool. Oh man, and that's not offense to his ring work or his ability. It's just, it's Sal Del Rio is not used to having him as a partner, and it's going to be interesting to see how well they mesh.
It's a question of chemistry. No matter how gifted two individuals are, unless you work perfectly well together, you may be a grotesque failure as a tag team. Only time will tell, no matter how gifted they are, if Derek Driver and Sal Del Rio are a tag team in the making.
Kick to the midsection by Sal Del Rio. The Latin lover comes off the ropes, ducks a clothesline, kicks Brandon P in the midsection, comes back off the ropes, rolling neck breaker by Sal Del Rio. Beautiful maneuver on Brandon P.
The team of Future Shock and Slim J have a bit of a conference call on the floor here. Looks like Slim J is the team captain of sorts. Probably the youngest team captain I could ever imagine. It's Derek Driver and Jay Freeze mixing it up in six-man action this week on NWA Wildside.
Our first look here at Derek Driver, ducking a clothesline there. He comes back, big drop kick.
Big drop kick. Look at it. The elevation that young Mr. Driver got.
Driver has a chiseled physique. He has little to no wrestling experience here. It's going to be very interesting. Asai moonsault by Driver. Tremendous maneuver by this young kid coming in here at the last minute. Big right hand.
You see the hang time on that moonsault? Unfortunately, so much time that perhaps Jay Freeze time to avert.
Reversal into the corner. Derek Driver springboard. He gets caught. Well, Hurricane Rana. Actually more of a loose scissors there. He cut him low, but nevertheless effective, sending Jay Freeze over with a forward momentum.
I guess perhaps what Derek Driver has an advantage. In other words, this is a way that Slim J and Team of Future Shock are not too familiar with Derek Driver, having never wrestled him before. So this is perhaps to his advantage. He says just prior to getting clocked with a charging lariat.
Knee to the back and a hard clothesline by Jay Freeze. Crowd adoringly chanting Future Suck.
They mispronounced the name Shock. How weird. And a blatant choke on the fallen body of Derek Driver.
The right hand by the real Slim J. This kid's attitude is rotten to the core.
Yeah, he's a head case of what he is.
Big spin heel kick by Slim J. He is so talented in the ring, and he's only going to get better. But he's going to have to stay out of prison first before he's going to have any kind of wrestling career ahead of him. He's a troublemaker. He's always getting into mischief.
Kind of like Dennis the Menace, huh?
And at a tender 18 years of age, young Slim J has got a bright road ahead of him. Once again, if he can just stay out of trouble.
Good luck.
Lock of a punch there. Exploder suplex by Brandon P.
Indeed, perhaps if there's any distinct advantage as far as team goes, I mean, Future Shock have been teaming together for quite a number of months. Jeremy V and Sal Del Rio and Derek Driver are teaming together for the first time here this evening.
Future Shock and Slim J doing a triple team number on young Derek Driver. And you know this kid has to have butterflies. With little experience in the wrestling business, he's now getting to display his ability on a national forum.
Butterflies notwithstanding, those charging chops from Jay Freeze has got to leave Derek Driver as one hurt carbon unit.
He goes for a hip toss, counters it with a victory roll. Beautiful maneuver by Derek Driver. Oh, and a low kick, big DDT by Jay Freeze.
I think Freeze got all he wanted to with that DDT. But Derek Driver is definitely spent after all that punishment he's endured over the last few minutes. This incredible six-man action this week on Wildside.
And going into Hardcore Hell, Future Shock scheduled to take on G-Rated.
That's the plan.
That is not the case now with Kid Cool on the shelf. So it's going to be interesting to see if Sal Del Rio brings Derek Driver into that matchup as his tag team partner. He might bring Jeremy V. Who knows? But right now, I am very impressed with the teamwork of Future Shock and Slim J.
So far, most things have gone their way. I've referred to before that chemistry and passed it up. A pin, actually a tag, a genuine tag that referee Andrew Thomas conveniently missed. But Jay Freeze opens up on Derek Driver. We've seen this before, Dan.
Derek Driver's getting handed one because of his tag team partner's interference, but it's inadvertent. Del Rio just wants to help. And that's definitely not a good way to start off a tag team relationship. Leg drop by Slim J in the ring. He's not done. Picks Derek Driver up. Solid right hand to the side of the face, followed by another, followed by another. Off the ropes comes Derek Driver. Sunset flip. He hangs on, takes Slim J over into a pretty combination. 1-2. Only a 2 count by Slim J. Does a clothesline by Derek Driver. He pops him in the jaw 2 times. Derek Driver in control here. On Slim J into the far corner. Slim J on the second rope and kicks him square in the mush. I think he calls that the 3-6 Mafia kick.
3-6. Hope he makes 36. You'll tell me later, won't you?
It's a rap industry joke. Forget about it.
Oh, my street credit, so it's shot in flames. The only street credit I got is Sesame Street.
Thunderous chop in the corner once again by Jay Freeze onto young Derek Driver. Young Derek Driver is wearing a beating. He's wearing an ass whipping in this match. He's gonna have to make the tag to the freshman on the outside. Jay Freeze misses his flash in the corner. Derek Driver counters, kick to the midsection. Derek Driver up on the second rope. Springboard inverted DDT.
But Derek Driver is in the wrong place. Way too close to the Future Shock Slim J tag team. And a long way away from the tagging hands of Jeremy V and Sal Del Rio, which I'm told is how he prefers to be pronounced.
Big forearm shot flying jalapeno by Sal Del Rio, kick to the knee. Oh, drop toe hold, and Brandon Peace face just crushed on the knee of Jay Freeze. It's breaking down at the NCW arena. Jeremy V, Hurricane run on the floor. Sal Del Rio gets dumped to the outside.
But Future Shock, they're doubling up on Derek Driver.
Future Shock going for the one of their finishing maneuvers there, that hanging tree of roll into a power bomb. And the momentum carried Derek Driver over. Wait a minute. They went for it a second time, and it bit him in the ass. Sal Del Rio will be able to pull Jay Freeze out of the ring. Del Rio in the ring, springboard leg drop.
That leg drop, yes sir, no one does it better.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the match, the team of Derek Driver, Jeremy V, and Sal Del Rio.
We've seen this one before. Adam Jacobs and Dustin Timberlake mixing it up here on the ramp here at the NCW arena. Jacobs just clocking the hell out of Timberlake. Referee Jamie Tucker wanted him to get it in the ring. That's where it's supposed to be. Let me check the rule book here. Yep, in the ring. Jacobs wants this last Dustin Timberlake fiasco to be behind him, and no pun intended there, if you know what I'm talking about.
These two men falling away on one another. What a grudge match this is. They didn't want to wait until Hardcore Hell. They said sign the damn match this week on television. That's why they're doing NWA Wildside, and they're also going to meet at Hardcore Hell, which is taking place as this episode of NWA Wildside is airing on the America One satellite feed and Urban America Television. Big chop by Dustin Timberlake, sending Jacobs to the floor.
Hitting his head on the apron in the process. Things seem to be going the way of Timberlake, which to his credit, after being ambushed on the ramp by all that Adam Jacobs. Boy, Timberlake's going to town on Jacobs.
Dustin Timberlake's got a lot to prove. He and Adam Jacobs have been embroiled in turmoil since the better part of October, when Adam Jacobs had a secret admirer. At Fright Night 2001, it was revealed to be Laz. Well, Laz had a change of, I guess he changed the flavor of the meat he likes. He became Dustin Timberlake, taking on all that Adam Jacobs.
Well, remember, there was a restraining order, so by changing identity, he got around that. That's just pretty clever, I thought.
The restraining order set forth by Jeff G. Bailey.
The Tree of Woe, that elevated dropkick. That baseball slide, a.k.a. elevated dropkick.
Jacobs, such a phenomenal athlete, but what a cocky, pompous individual.
Oh, he's got that in spades, no doubt.
Well, that is something Jeff G. Bailey instills in his protege. He instills that cockiness, he instills that confidence, and in many cases, a successful diving moonsault.
Oh,
that Adam Jacobs, he cut his nose on the knee of Timberlake on the way down.
Almost a poetic moonsault, but the point is moot when you land on nothing but canvas.
Fireman's carried by Timberlake into a gutbuster.
This is perhaps as vicious as you've ever seen Timberlake.
Big neck breaker by Dustin Timberlake. He got a fire under him that we've yet to see. I think he's trying to prove to the world that he's more than just a novelty act.
Let's think, I think he's more than a secret admirer of Adam Jacobs. There's no more admiration there.
Oh, big DDT. Jacobs just snatched him up and planted it head first. Timberlake is in a lot of trouble, and Adam Jacobs is going to the top rope. Adam Jacobs on the top rope. Well, that Adam Jacobs is measuring Timberlake. Big frog splash, and he connects. 2 count only. Official Jamie Tucker. And I was going to say it earlier on this episode. Jamie Tucker, it's great to have back because he provides balance over Wildside senior official Andrew Thomas and his crooked one-sided rulings. Adam Jacobs follows up in the corner. He misses a leg to the face.
And a face full of turnbuckle to boot.
I don't know what Adam Jacobs could have possibly been going for there in the corner, possibly a Hurricane Rana, but nevertheless, it didn't matter, it didn't connect.
The artist formerly known as Laz, now he's Dustin Timberlake, laying a different kind of lumber on the chest, and with a blatant choke on all that Adam Jacobs. Well, what kind of animal did Jeff Bailey and Adam Jacobs unleash in Laz to turn into this Dustin Timberlake, a very vicious one at that?
Irish whip into the far corner. Jacobs goes in there upside down.
Up close and personal.
There's the Britney Spears, and I guess we provide a whole new connotation to that word. Oh no, it's the role model Jason Cross. He's supposed to be suspended. He's supposed to be suspended from NWA Wildside. What the hell is he doing out here?
I guess suspensions are a moot point when your man is CEO Jeff G. Bailey. Good heavens, Jacobs up top. Oh, and a big forearm to the head.
Tonight, Laz, this is it. I am so sick of all your chicanery and hardcore hell. It's gonna be you and Adam Jacobs, but it's gonna be when you lose, you're not coming back as Laz, and you're not coming back as Dustin Timberlake, and you're not gonna be doing any of that queer dancing anymore because Adam Jacobs has had it with you. He is going to have to kill you if you are not gone. What the hell?
Todd 60, Jimmy Raven Onyx. Gonna make the save for Laz.
Suffice to say, wish they were on a few minutes before. Some serious damage has been done to Dustin Timberlake. NWA Vice President Bill Behrens out here to perhaps survey the damage.
Hey, Jeff G.
Uh-oh.
Jeff,
I heard you were trying to establish a little bit of a stipulation for hardcore hell here. If I heard you correctly, you're saying that Dustin Timberlake, that Laz, you're trying to eliminate any character he wants to bring in this building. But that assumes that Adam Jacobs can pin him. I don't think it can happen, but if it does, then no Laz, no Dustin Timberlake, no more dancing, right? But wait a minute, if you get a stipulation, then by God, he gets a stipulation. Hang on, let me see what he'd like.
Talk about fair balance, as you mentioned before, referee Jamie Tucker. What does Bill Behrens and Dustin Timberlake come up with here?
I went 5 minutes with that closet faggot right there.
Oh, dear, the plot thickens, and I don't lisp.
And you know what? I think that'd be thoroughly entertaining. So at Hardcore Hell, when Laz, Dustin Timberlake, I don't know, but when you get beaten, Jeff G. Bailey's gonna be in this ring for 5 minutes. Well, Jeff, you better wear protection, that's all I'm saying.
What a stipulation! Imagine what would happen.
Your life a living hell.
Imagine what would happen
Dustin Timberlake!
if Laz or Dustin Timberlake gets a hold of our illustrious CEO, Jeff Bailey, for 5 minutes.
See you later, Jeff.
Could you imagine the debauchery? Can you imagine that? Things are all of a sudden even between Adam Jacobs and Dustin Timberlake for Hardcore Hell 2002. Ooh-wee!
Well, Jeff G. Bailey's cell phone bill is going to skyrocket because he better be calling somebody to get him out of this one.
Hey,
if he loses, 5 minutes with Jeff G. Bailey.
Hey, let's talk about calling somebody. Are we channeling Thunderbolt Patterson here? Coming up next, the fight for #1 contendership. Rick Michaels, David Young. It's next.
Since 1997, there has not been a tradition of violence in professional wrestling like Hardcore Hell. This year in 2002, NWA Wildside.
David Young lighting up the original chosen one. Rick Michaels, David Young, Rick Michaels, the #1 contender for the Wildside title, is on the line in this matchup. We're gonna know who is gonna face AJ Styles at Hardcore Hell 2002.
We've been asking this question for months.
It's been an issue very difficult to resolve, Stephen, let's say that.
Yeah, suffice to say. I mean, I was beginning to actually agree with Rick Michaels for a while there. It seemed like he was deserving of a title shot somewhere along the line. I mean, he was the previous champion, so I guess I'm sure he feels somewhat slighted in the process. But the guy is so damn psychotic about anything related to the Wildside Heavyweight Championship that even his former friendship with David Young and now hated enemy with David Young is getting in the way. He's become a complete head case. That is the original chosen one, Rick Michaels.
Oh, he's totally the rings. Catapults Rick Michaels into the corner post.
That is a mess. David Young grabs a chair from ringside.
David Young is not playing in this matchup.
Michaels is already cut open from that ring post. I'm sure the chair didn't do him any favors either.
David Young just shellacked Rick Michaels with that chair. Big right hands to the head of the original chosen one. David Young has fought so hard. With assistance from Rick Michaels because he wanted dirty, he didn't want any part of it. He gave the title back to AJ Styles. David Young has fought so hard on this road to hardcore hell. He's got so much to lose. He's been told he can't do. Oh, good God Almighty! David Young into our announce table.
Which certainly didn't do David Young any favors. Remember, Young already took a shellacking, to steal a line from you, Dan, earlier on, as in this edition of Wildside. And Michaels already beaten and bloody. But coming back with his second win, he's got a chair.
Oh my God!
Apparently, though, that dozen of brain cells that David Young had left, I think, have been cut in half by that chair shot from the original chosen one, Rick Michaels. Unfortunately, both these athletes are damn close to being counted out. Andrew Thomas up to an 8 count.
Ring, Andrew. This is the number one. What the hell are you doing? Get him back in the damn ring.
Bring the question is still not answered. Who the hell is number one contender? A double count out. This is Michaels' fault as much as it is as David Young's. It's only Andrew Thomas as well.
What is going on here? Andrew Thomas should have shown the leeway in this matchup with the importance on the line. Andrew Thomas should have allowed both men to get back in the ring.
NWA VP Bill Behrens.
It seems we can't even figure out a number one contender this evening. So forget it. At Hardcore Hell, whoever the champion is when the night is over is going to get a chance to go against you, Rick Michaels. But they're going to get a chance to go against you, too. It's going to be a three-way match at Hardcore Hell. The champion, the number one, and the other number one challenger. Enough of this. Get him the hell out of here.
It's the logical answer for a question that can't be answered. Rick Michaels, David Young still mixing it up here. I can't believe it started off with Rick Michaels apologizing to David Young and apologizing a year earlier on.
That is absolutely huge. A three-way dance has now been signed. It's official. AJ Styles, if he is the champion, leaving tonight against Rick Michaels and David